Hello and welcome. My name is Michael, and today I will be sharing with you many crucial business lessons they don't teach you in business schools. In each video I post on this series, I will cover a section. You can find all sections in description or in my channel. Let's start. Section 2, Be Long-Term Greedy. Lesson number 9, the longer the view, the wiser the intention. When I worked at Goldman Sachs, my mentors would always tell me to be long-term greedy. I didn't fully appreciate it at the time, but it makes perfect sense to me now, especially when it comes to investing. I worked in the hedge fund industry for several years after leaving Goldman Sachs, and I hated the industry because investors only rewarded you if you were successful with short-term results. The problem with this approach is that you are often right for the wrong reasons and vice versa. Each month has only 20 business or trading days, and each quarter has only 60 business or trading days. It is mathematically impossible to generate positive returns every quarter, year after year after year. The best investors have a long-term outlook. In fact, before I do due diligence on any company as a potential investment candidate, I ask myself one very basic question. In 5 years, will this company be more relevant or less relevant than it is today? Sounds pretty simple. It should be, because the best investors see the forest from the trees and understand that investment trends last much longer than we think. I always ask myself this basic 5-year question before I do any due diligence on companies. Nobody is better at being a wise long-term investor than Warren Buffett. I remember when I was an MBA student at Columbia University in the late 1990s, and Warren Buffett was teaching one of our classes on value investing. One of my classmates pitched a technology stock to him. He very politely interrupted 30 seconds after my classmate pitched the stock and said, "Son, thank you very much for the idea, but I don't have enough visibility where this company is going to be product cycle-wise in 3, 5, 10, or 20 years. He was right, as 6 months later the technology company my classmate was pitching went belly up. There is a reason Warren Buffett is called the Sage of Omaha. Since I am a proud Canadian, I have to end this chapter with a quote from the greatest athlete ever, the great one, Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky was so incredibly successful because he didn't skate to where the puck is. Rather, he had a longer-term strategy as he skated to where the puck was going to be. Love that guy. Lesson number 10, Learn, Earn, Return. Give and you shall receive. This statement has been true since the beginning of time. Those that are generous with their time and mentor others are much more successful than those that are not. Why? First of all, it is the right thing to do, as others helped you to get to where you are today. But by mentoring others, you also reinforce your core beliefs and remind yourself what the drivers of success are. I am honored to be on the board of a wonderful charity called the Limo Foundation, whose mission is to eradicate poverty through scholarships to those that are less fortunate. Limo's core mission statement is brilliant. Don't expect to accomplish your goals unless you help others accomplish theirs. I love this concept. Some call it karma and others call it paying it forward. Everyone should seek mentors and mentor others. You will be much more successful in the long run if you practice what you preach. Lesson number 11, the harder you work, the luckier you get. When you first think of an incredibly ambitious goal, you are so fired up and excited to start the journey. Before you start the journey, you can clearly see the top of the mountain, which is a metaphor for your goal. Once you embark upon your journey, you are full of energy and excitement, as with each step you get closer and closer to your goal. Then much later in the journey you become frustrated as you can no longer see the top of the mountain. As a result, your pace deviates a bit and is perhaps slower than it once was. You wonder, what happened to my goal? Why can't I see the top of the mountain anymore anyway? Well, the reason is simple. The reason is that you are halfway up the mountain and your goal is within reach. Finish what you started and reap the rewards. Be long-term greedy and realize the harder you work, the luckier you get. Lesson number 12, the most important investment you will ever make. Don't be cheap when it comes to education and self-improvement. You are your biggest investment. Continuous improvement is of paramount importance when it comes to your success in business or life in general. Spend more than you think you can afford on education, including university degrees, online education, books, audiobooks, podcasts, etc. Whatever it takes. You do have time to read. Yes, you do. You can listen to audiobooks or listen to online lectures. If you have Wi-Fi and a stationary bike at home, you can watch online courses at Udemy.com, for example. Be a voracious reader. Read as many books as you can on successful business people. What are their secrets? Learn from them and watch your career take off. Lesson number 13. Learn what not to do. You can learn a lot about business by observing your supervisors. You can learn a lot by observing what makes them successful and also what their shortfalls are. That's right, learn what not to do. Observe how your superiors manage people. Observe how their subordinates react to being managed. If your peers have a negative attitude given how they are being treated by their supervisor, then learn what not to do from a management practice, as employees that lack passion are not productive. When I worked in consulting at Accenture in the mid-1990s, I will never forget how poorly I was treated by an associate partner at the firm one night. It was around 10 p.m. and I just started my first job. An associate partner asked me to print out a database report. I had no idea how to do it and I tried hard. I told him that I am very sorry, but I can't figure it out. He looked at me and said, "It's because you are incompetent." I was shocked at his response and, as a result, I spent several hours a day looking for another job and my morale was crushed. Had he not reacted that way, I would have been much more proactive and passionate about my role. To be intellectually honest though, I suppose the correct response from me should have been, "I don't know, but I'll find out." Good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. Thanks for watching. If you are into business and entrepreneurship, wealth, success, subscribe and hit the bell button, because this channel is all about that.